Okay, let's start, right? So, are you guys able to see my screen, right?
Yes.
Okay, so let me go to the Google Classroom. How many of you guys ready to turn in the assignment? Okay, very good. Okay, so at the beginning of the class, I wanted to quickly go through the task, right? We did last week, okay? I haven't, let me see. Very good. Okay, so let me quickly go to the assignments, right? And explain again. The first one is about write a function, take two lists, and return true if they have at least one common member. Every time you get the task, right, you have to think about, okay, what he asked you to do, right? I need to create a function. And this time I actually give you the beginning of the function, right? And it says take two lists, right? So I put two list parameters, okay? And what we're gonna do inside the function, I'm gonna return true if they have at least one common member. Okay, so at least one common member, which means I have to check, right, if there's any common element, right, existing in both lists. Okay, so every time when we think about, hey, I have to check every item in a list, right, the first thing comes to your mind has to be, okay, I have to loop the list, right? I have to loop the list. So the idea is, okay, I go to my wrapper.id one. Okay, so I have a definition of the function. Okay, so I need to check the common element. So what I'm gonna do is I have to loop. Which one I'm gonna loop? Actually, here it doesn't matter. Okay, because you can just pick the first list to loop and check every element in the first list. Is it existing in the second one? Okay, is it existing in the second one? So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna loop, right? A list one. Okay, so here, right, X is represent every value from the list. What am I gonna check? How can I check if a value is existing in list 2, right? So we're gonna put if X in list 2, okay? So that's an if condition to check if a number or if a value existing in a list. So if this condition is true, which means I find a common or find an element from list A, list 1 is also existing in list 2. So in this case, I'm gonna return true. Okay. So now if I test the function, right? The function is I'm gonna call the task function and I'm passing two parameter value. right? Again, the two parameter value is two lists. The first one called 1, 2, 3. The second one I said 3, 4, 5. Okay, so if I run this, I gotta choose, right? If I change, because why is true? Because there is a value 3 existing in both lists, right? Think about that, right? 1, 2, 3 come at the value for the list 1, okay? And I'm looping every value in the list 1. So first item is 1. I'm gonna check, hey, if value 1 existing in list 2, no, it's not existing, right? So it will not return. So it's gonna continue to the next round of the list. The second value is 2, right? Then I'm gonna check if the 2 is in the second list. No, then it will not return. The third time it's gonna check if 3 is in list 2. Yes, then I return the 2. Okay. So suppose I change 3 to 6, right? In this case, there's no comma element. If I run that, right? Basically, I don't have this return will not happen, right? And of course, you can say that, hey, after I complete the whole loop, right? There's never found a value existing in list 2 and never return 2. Instead, you can return false, right? You can also do that. So now in this case, if I click on run, you're gonna print out false. Okay. Any question for the first question? Okay. Second question, right? Write a Python function to take one list of string and a one number length, right? So its function takes a list as the first parameter. A number, right, which stands for length, right? Which is a number. Okay. What are we gonna do? It should return the count of string whose length is longer than given length. Okay. So which means, look at this example. I'm passing a list of, right, a list of value. And I'm passing a second parameter is a number, right? What I'm gonna check is every value from the list. Check the length. Okay, check the length. How to check the length, right? Length print list string. And I need to count the number of the value whose length is bigger, longer than the given length. Okay, longer than the given length. So what I'm gonna do is, okay, here. Okay, I have function, you know, I do like that. Okay, def task 2, right? Make sure you have a different function name because in one file you cannot have the same function name. So for the second question, right, I create a different function name. This function gonna take a list at the first parameter, right, and a length, right, which is a number, right, at the second parameter. So what I'm gonna do here, again, I need you to check every value from the list. So first you have to think about loop, right? Loop the list. So for x in list. Okay. So what I'm gonna check for every value from the list? I need to check the length. Okay. So how can we get the length? Length what? X. Why x? Because x here is the loop variable, right? It is actually represents every value from the list. Okay. Length what? Bigger than the length. Okay. So here is the problem. You look at the name of the second parameter, LEM, right, which is the same as the LEM. What are the different? Right, they're different. First, right, the LEM here is a parameter, right? So try to avoid, okay, a confusion, right? Just change it. Just change the you know, the parameter value, right? Let's make it a maximum length because Oh, not maximum. I said it's minimum length, right? Okay. So I change the second parameter value become a minimum length, so it's a bit more clear. So I'm gonna do check the length of value, right, is bigger than minimum length, right? If length x, okay, hold on, somebody cannot join the meeting, so let me send him the schedule. One second. Okay, so I'm checking the length of the value, right? If it's bigger than minimum length, what am I gonna do? Here, some of you guys have some problem because we have to think what's the requirement. The requirement said we have to return count of the string. Okay, so the difference between the second and the first one is the first one, once I meet the requirements, right, I meet the condition, right, I return true directly. But not the same case for the second one, because I have to check every value in the list and find out all the value whose length is bigger than the given length. Okay, so I cannot return directly for the first condition true. Okay, so instead here I have to create a variable, okay, inside my function, right, called count. So namely, I'm using this variable to contain what? Louis, are you listening? Louis?
Yes, I'm
What is the
listening.
purpose?
I was
What is
talking
the?
to my mom.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because my mom gave me a phone call, so I was.
Okay, I look at my screen.
Yeah.
What is the purpose of this count?
I think it counts like the length of it.
I cannot hear you clearly.
Wait, does it like count the length of it?
Which one? I'm asking you, what's the purpose of this variable count?
So you can figure out the minimum length.
Minimum length is this variable, right? This count is used to holding the count of the string you found. Okay?
What?
The count of the string you found whose length is bigger than minimum, right? So what should I supposed to do here? If I found someone whose length is bigger than minimum length, Nathan, what should I do here?
Yeah,
What should I do here?
then count
Huh?
count plus equals 1. Add 1 to the count.
Okay, add a 1 to the count, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So I have to increase the count by 1, right? Because And when should I return? When should I return? Okay, remember here. If I'm doing return here, what's gonna happen? Aston, did you figure out? Did you understand this? If I return count here, what's gonna happen?
It will only return if it will return too early, because once it finds a length, a value in the list that is valid, then it will just return it automatically.
Yeah. So if you return here, which means what? Which means the first time the condition true, right? It's gonna just return, right? The value of the count can only be 1, right? Can only be 1. Okay, but it's not the case we're looking for, right? We have to complete the whole looping of the list and then return the final count. Okay, so you have to pay attention to the indentation. Okay, you have to make sure the indentation is what? Out of your for loop. Okay, so in this case, I'm gonna do the loop every item in the list, right? And update my count value, right? Finally, I return the count, right? At the end of the function. So now if we test this, right? If we test this, right? If I run 1, oh, that's a mistake. What? Int is not iterable. Okay, let's take a look at the error, right? Line number, oh, sorry, right? It's function 2, right? Make sure function 2. Okay, it return 1, right? Because why? It's gonna check the first one. 1, 2, 3. The length is 3, right? 3 bigger than 4? No. So I will just continue to the second one. Again, the second length is 3, right? I will not change the count. Third value, yes. The length is 6, which is bigger than 4. So count will be +1. So at that moment, count become 1, right? A, B, C, D, right? Here, actually, I made a mistake in the assignment, right? Because A, B, C, D is not bigger than minimum length, right? It is equal to that minimum, but here we're not including equal to. Okay, so in this case, this result is correct. There's only one value whose length is bigger than or longer than the given 4, right? If I'm changing to 3, in this case, the result is going to become 2. Because why? Because 2, 3, 4, S, 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 and A, B, C, D, right? These are the 2 strings with the longer length than 3. Okay, so that is the second question. Third question is, write a function to count the number of strings. Excuse me. Where the string length is 2 or more. Okay. Okay, string length is 2 or more, which means what? The length of the string is bigger or equal to 2, right? And the first and the last character are same from a given list of strings. So here, the difficulty is this, right? Last character, right, and the first character are the same. When we say same, it's comparison, right? Where we double equal to 2, right, to do the comparison. How can I get the first and the last character of a string? Okay, so that's something I didn't really talking about, because if you look at the string A, B, C, D, actually, okay, most of the program languages handle the string as a list of characters. What does it mean? It is actually handled like this. It's a list of a character. Okay, so if you understand a string in this format, then you're gonna easily know the first, right? The first character of the string is what? Right? How can we access an item from the list? Using index, right? And then the last character of the list. How can we get the last item from the list? -1. Okay. So that's the way how we get the first character and the last character of a string. Okay. So go back to the requirements. Okay, look at here. Okay, so I'm gonna define a function 3, a task 3, which I only take one list. Okay, so here again, right, we need to return what? Return the count of, right, a number of the string, right? So we will also create a local variable called count, okay? And then we're gonna do a loop in the list. What can I check? Okay, remember we check two themes, okay? The first theme is the length. Length of x, what? Is 2 or more. So bigger than or equal to 2, right? And what? And the first character of the last character are the same. Okay, how to do the first character? How to do the last character? Like the one, right? They are the same. So it's a comparison, okay? So we need double equal to 2, okay? Somebody using single equals 2, which is not correct, okay? Single equals 2 is the same value. Comparison with double equal to 2. Okay, here, I have two conditions and they're using and connected, right? So now if I do, if this condition is true, what I'm gonna do is count, right, plus 1. Okay, again, I should return the result, what? Only after the whole loop is completed. Okay, so now if I test it, right? And make sure I change the task name, the function into task 3, right? And if I run this, what is that? Invalid in identifier. I'm checking the item in the list, right? If the length of x bigger than 2 and x is double equal
There's
to
something
x.
wrong with the colon. There's something wrong with the
Oh,
colon.
yeah. Thank you. Yeah, I will switch to the Chinese input by mistake. That's a root cause. Very good. Okay. Look at here. Okay. So ABC, right? Yeah, this is bigger. The length is bigger than 2, but the first and the last character is not the same, right? A is not equal to C, right? And X, Y, Z, right? Same thing, right? ABA is meet requirements, right? Length is 3, and the first and last character are the same. 1, 2, 2, 1. Okay, 1, 2, 2, 1 is also meet the required conditions, right? So in this case, the count is 2. Okay, so that is basically the answer to the 3 assignment of last week. So do we have any more questions?
No.
Okay. So come back to the continue this content, right? So last week we are talking about a list, okay? And again, quickly have a review. We're talking about the collection type, okay? There's a group of type, right, in most of the programming language, right? It's called a collection. Okay, collection means a set of or group of items, right? It can be we have already know, right, a different variable type. It can be individual variable type, right? Integer or float, right? But here when we're talking about collection, it's not an individual, okay? it's a group of values, okay? And there's 4 different function type we have in the Python, right? The first is called list, okay? And look at, don't worry, okay? Okay. So the first character collection type is list, okay? And look at here, it's called ordered and changeable, okay? Ordered and changeable. Why we call that ordered, right? If you remember I have a slide last week, right, to show you. If you imagine, okay, a list type, okay, it's just like it's a chain of the box or bucket, okay? And they have a label, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. The label is called index, okay? The label is called index. And in each bucket, right, you are able to put the value inside it, okay? So then once you have this index, okay, which means you can access those items by using the index, right? How do you do that, right? So you can create a list, right, using square brackets, okay, square brackets. And the value inside the list can be any other type of, right? Even you can have a list of another list. Okay, this is also valid, okay? So here, when we access an item, we use the index, right? Again, the index starting from 0. So 0, 1, 2. So this printout can print out banana. Okay? And you can use the negative, which is starting from the last item of the list. Right? You can use in range. Okay? So let me ask you guys, right? Julian, can you tell me what is this print for the list from index 2 to index 5? Julian?
Cherry and melon.
Cherry and melon. This is a range, okay? This is a range. It's not 2.
Oh. Cherry, orange, kiwi, and melon.
Okay. Let's look at the index. Apple 0, 1, 2. Okay, 2 is starting from here, right? 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay? So it's gonna starting from index 2, which is cherry, 3 orange, 4 kiwi, 5 melon. Okay, then the question here is melon included or not included? Julia, is the melon included or not included? Index 5. Julia?
No.
Yeah. Remember, almost all the range, the beginning index is included, but the last ending index is excluded. So melon is not included here. Okay. What happened to this? I have a colon here, but I don't have the beginning index, right? I only have an ending index. So what does this mean? Right? What does it mean? Louis, are you listening? Hello, Louis?
Yeah.
What is the print of this? Huh? Can you answer my question? Hello, Louis, you there?
Yeah.
Yeah, what is the print of this question?
I think it's orange.
Huh?
I think it's orange, I guess.
I cannot hear you.
I think it tastes like orange.
Louis,
Yeah.
are you listening to me? I mean, I'm asking you, what is the print of this print? Right, I have a list, I print out this index range, okay? So what's the output?
It goes up to Q.
What value gonna print out?
I'm just gonna print out everything from Apple to Kiwi.
Print out everything from what?
Apple to Kiwi.
Apple to kiwi. Okay, very good, right? So if there's no beginning, which means by default it's starting from the first one, from the beginning of the list. Apple, banana, cherry, orange, kiwi. But again, index 4 is kiwi. Does kiwi included? Louis, does kiwi included here?
No.
Okay, the ending index is not included. Okay, so just the 4 items. Okay, similar here. I have a beginning index, but I don't have any. So by default, what? To the end, right? So 1, 2, it will returning banana to mango. Okay? Range of negative index, that's no different because it's just starting from the left to the right, right? And last 4, which means -1, -2, -3, -4, starting from orange. Okay? Orange. But the question is, it's till the last second, but the mango will not be included. Okay, the last ending index is not included. Change the item value. Okay, remember here we said it's changeable, right? The list is changeable. Why I say it's changeable? Because you can change the value of the list. Okay, by using the index and assign a new value to the index. Okay, loop through list for X in this list, right? Does X matter, right? X is the matter. You can use the other name. Or X is just a placeholder. Okay? It's a placeholder to holding every value from the list. Right? Fellas, you understand this? X is just a loop variable. Okay? It can be anything. You can put Y, you can put Z. That's fine. It's presenting every value from the list. Right? But once you define the loop variable here, make sure whatever inside the loop using the same name. Okay, fellas, you understand this? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Continue, right? To check if an item exists, right? If Apple in, right, in the list, right? If a condition check value existing in a list. List length, just like how we check the length of the string. Okay, length, the list name. Add item. Append. Okay. Append means what? Append an item to the end of the list. So append orange, it will become apple, banana, cherry, orange. Okay? To add an item at a specific index. I don't want it to append at the end of this list. I want it to insert at a specific position. Right? I'm using insert. One orange. One first, you need to find why is the index 1, right? 0, 1 is the place banana is sitting here, right? So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna insert the orange, right, at the position 1. At the same time, I'm gonna push the banana and cherry back 1 position, right? So it will become apple, orange, banana, cherry. Remove item, you can remove the value, right? Not remove banana, you remove the value. And again, once this is removed, the index, whatever the index behind the removed item will add 1, okay? So it will become apple and cherry, right? So the cherry's index will become 1 instead of like earlier 2, right? Pop. Pop means, right, delete the last item. Okay, delete the last item, which is cherry. Delete, you can also using delete del keyword, right? And delete
We learned,
item from the list based on the index.
we
Okay.
learned this last week, right?
What? Yeah, we learned last week, so I just want to quickly review that. Okay. Have a clear everything on the list. Okay. And we have a copy. Okay. How do we join two lists? Easy, right? Using add symbol, right, to join the two lists. Okay. Or you can what? Looping every item in the first list, right, and append it to the last list. Another list, right? Or you can use extend. Okay. So that is the list. Okay. Today we're gonna continue learning second collection type. Okay, it's called a tuple. Okay, what's the difference? If I go back to the here, tuple is a collection which is ordered and unchangeable. Okay, so ordered and unchangeable. When I say ordered, which means what? It is also maintain the value based on the index. So whatever the index operation we learned for list, it will also still working for the tuple. Okay, but the tuple it cannot change. So you cannot using tuple index equals to new value, which is not allowed. Okay, so this will be used for some scenario like you want to have a collection of the value which should not be changed. So for example, like I wanted to create a collection of the value, maybe okay, all the states in US, all the states in US, so which you already know this collection, well, it's fixed. Fixed means you cannot add a new, you cannot remove any existing, or you cannot, change the value of any existing state because the state in US is fixed, right? You cannot put a different value. Okay, so in this case, you can use in tube, right? So let's quickly to look at the function we have in the tube, right? Again, the difference between tube and the list, the parent list is a bit different, right? It's normal parent list, right? It's not a square. Because you can use the index to access value because it's ordered. Okay, you can use inactive, you can use in index range. Okay, and you can use inactive index range. Okay, change the tuple variable, right? We said is unchangeable or unmutable. That's the same meaning. Okay, unchangeable is unmutable. Okay, so if we change that, right? It's because you cannot change that. Okay, if you really want to change that, what you're going to do is you have to convert the tuple into a list, change the list, and convert the list back into tuple. Okay, and that is just like an alternative way, right? But normally, if you do like that, right, why you have to create a tuple? Why you cannot create a list directly? Okay, loop through a tube. Okay, yeah, the value cannot be changed, but I can still loop every value from the tube, right? From the tube. So that's the same thing. Check if the item exists. It's the same syntax, right? Tuple length, same thing. Where length, print this, right? Put the tuple name, right? Add items. Again, once the tuple is created, you cannot add item into list, right? Tuple is unchangeable. Okay. Create a tuple with one item. Yeah, you can just using a print list to create it. Remove items. They are unchangeable, so you cannot remove the item from it. Okay, but you can delete the tube completely. I don't want to use the tube at all. So you can delete what the entire tube, but you cannot delete a specific item from the tube, right? Join two tubes, easy, right? Using add plus, join two tubes, right? That's the function. Okay, that's about that, right? So here, print the first item in the float tube, right? So what I'm gonna do is I have float again, right? It's index, right? So first item is index 0, right? So that is not difficult, okay? So that's not difficult. From the list, okay, we can also using the index to change the value, okay? So list index 0 change to different value. So that's called changeable. Then the question is the dictionary is unordered, no index, but it's changeable. Okay, we need to take a look at. Okay, here index. Oh, here maybe I should explain more exactly because unordered is not exactly equal to indexed. Okay, because unordered, which means the position, there's no like the first item, the last item. Okay, but again, same if it's unordered, that means it is not indexed. Okay, so let's go through the the items, right? Maybe you're gonna help you to understand more. Okay, so in Python, dictionary are returned with curly practice and they have key and value. Okay, that's the first time we're talking about this term, key and value.
What's a key?
Okay, what's a key? That's a good question. Everybody have his name. Okay?
Yeah.
Everybody's name is a key of that person. Why? Because every time, right, I call Nathan G. Okay, that's your name. It's also your key. Because when I say Nathan G, everybody know, oh, that's referred to you, not referred to any other kids. Okay? And there is another good example of index and a value is if you go to the library. Go to the library. How do you know where should you find whatever the book you are looking for? I have a book name, right? And there are the thousand books in the library. How can I find it? Okay. So normally what we do is we need able to quickly search something. To do that, we have to create index, right? But we can call that key, okay? So in the library, for every book, we have a key, okay? Sometimes if you notice, right, on the book, they have a key or specific like a series number, starting with the letter like K, 1, 2, 3, okay? So if you ask in the, or if you just like search the book, right, type in book, right, in the library website, right, and the page is going to tell you, hey, the key, right, of the book is K123. So based on this key, you can go to the line number K and find the number 123. And why 123? Because every book is number ordered, right, from 1 to 2 to 3 to 4. That's a way how you quickly find out things. Okay, so that is also the purpose of the key. Look at here, create and print a dictionary. That is a simple dictionary we created. Okay, what do you see? First of all, you notice what? You have a lovely practice to create a key, to create a dictionary. And this is a little different from what we learned for list, tuple, and set. You can see, we know, right, every item is separated by a comma. But here it looks like a simple value, right? It has a pair, actually it's a pair of the value, okay? And it's separated by the colon. Now, in this case, okay, key value, comma, key, okay, how do you understand? A dictionary is a collection which is containing pairs of key and value. You get it, right? In the dictionary, I can maintain the value, but I have to have a key and value. Look at this example. Brand, Ford, right? Model, Mustang, year, 1964. What does it look like? It looks like it's a profile of a specific car, right? It's just like you. You have your profile, right? Name, and even first name, second name, gender, date of birth, home address, right? Parents. So for each information, okay, they have a key and a value. You understand what I'm talking about? And if I have a dictionary like this, it will easily for me to find a specific information from that dictionary or from that, target. Why I say that? Because if I have your profile, if I want to know, okay, what is your home address? I just need to go. I go to the home address feed, right? I find out the value of the home address. Okay, right? So in this case, hey, if I have a dictionary, have this key and value, I want to know what year of this car. So I go to the year directly to find the value, right, of the key. Okay, so in this case, access item, which is different from using the index. Here in the dictionary, we are using for the key instead, right? Okay, let me create a rare dictionary, right? So suppose I said, yeah, student profile, okay? Name, right? Has everything has to be quoted, right? Alan, what? Grade, right? Suppose I have a number, and again, the value can be a string or a number, doesn't matter, okay? Gender, okay. So here, for this dictionary type variable, student profile, okay? I have 3 pair of key and value, name, grade, gender. Okay, so now, if I wanted to know the student name, gender, a grade, I can do it like that. Put the dictionary variable name, right? Square brackets, right? Here is not index. Here is not index. I'm putting the key value. So if I run this, it gives me 6. Understand this? That's a way how you access item from a dictionary. Okay? By using key. And you can using this, square brackets. You can also use a function, okay, to get the key. Okay? Change the value. Since we are able to access an item from a dictionary, so that will be also very straightforward to do what? To change the value of a specific key. What I'm gonna do? I have this, right? Let me do like that, right? So first I'm gonna print out. Then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna change the value of the grade, make it become 7. So now if I print out the grade right from the dictionary, it will become 7. Because why? Because I already changed the value of the key grade. Right? That's the way how we change the value in the dictionary. Okay? Loop through a dictionary. We look like this, right? 4x in, okay, let's try this. Okay, I did this. 4x in student profile. Print out x. Okay. What do you see? Julian, what did I print out?
Huh? Huh?
What did I print out here? That's called what? I said this called what?
Name, grade, gender,
Yeah, I know. But what we call them?
profile.
Hmm? How do we call them? They are all what? right? We're just talking about the dictionary is consists, okay, here of key and a value. So here, name is a key, grade is key, gender is the key, right? Alan is the value, 6 is the value, M is the value, right? I can say, hey, Alan is the value for the key name. 6 is the value for the key grade. M is a value for the key gender. Okay, so now here, as you can see, if I print out X in the dictionary, what did I print? I just print the key, right? I print the key. But what happened if I wanted to print out the value? Most of the time, I think you're going to print the value, right? So what should I do here? Huh? What should I do here? Listen, what should I do here? I want to get the value. I don't want to get a key. How can I get a value from the dictionary by using the key? Nathan?
Can you do it like a list?
What the list? I don't have a list here.
Index?
We don't have an index 0, 1, 2, 3 in the dictionary. Again, how can we get the value from the dictionary? We already know X is the key, right? So I want to get the value for the key. How can I do that?
Maybe like value parentheses X.
Value parentheses X. No, again, right? You just need to put the dictionary name. Dictionary name, parentheses, no, it should be square, okay? That is the way, right? Again, right? It's like what I did. You need using dictionary name, right? Here, not index, not just like list, right? Instead of index, you have to put the key name. The key name, right? I run this. You see here? Alan 6N. Why? Because I know X is the key, but I don't want the key. I want the value. Okay, so I using the dictionary square parentheses the key. It will return me the value. Okay, are we clear? Fellas, did you get that? Fellas, you understand this, right?
Yeah.
So this dictionary has consists pairs of key and a value. Okay, I wanted to get the value. You have to know the key. Okay, you know the key, then I'm using dictionary square parentheses for the key. Okay.
I have a question.
Yeah.
But then, how do you know what X is?
How do I know X is, right? So when I loop X,
Yeah.
I basically what? I basically print out every key from the dictionary,
Yeah.
right? So instead of print out the key, I just print out the value for the key. And of course, I understand your question, right? Suppose you get a dictionary. How do I know it has the key name, grade, gender, right?
Yeah.
But of course, before using that, right, you should know what is the key available. Okay? Even you don't know, let me tell you, right? Even you don't know what you can do, either you can loop the whole dictionary and print out all the keys. Because you don't know. Suppose, okay, this is hidden to you, right? I collapse the code. I just tell you there's a dictionary. Okay, and you should print out the value, right? And of course, you want to print out specific value, you have to know the specific key. How do I know the key? Either I print out all the key. Oh, I know this dictionary has a key name, grader, and gender. So now if I do that, I said, hey, now I know. Okay, I want to do student profile, right? Gender. Can I do that? Yeah. Okay. So To be able to give the value, you need to know the key. Jeffrey, listen to me.
Uh-huh.
And you understand this?
Yeah, because it's hiding the code.
No, it's not about hiding the code, right? It's
No,
basically,
but like you save space.
if you are given a dictionary, you don't know what's the key available, right? Yeah, you can print out, right? Print out all the key existing in the dictionary. And every time if you wanted to get the value of the key, you should put the key, right? And using the dictionary. Okay? So now let's continue.
Would we want to use a dictionary?
Huh?
What would we use a dictionary for in real life?
Where are we gonna use the dictionary?
Yeah.
Lots of cases. Think about that, right? Like I said, right? If you have a profile for a student, you have student profile, because all the feed will be the same for every student, name, grade, gender, right? And I want to know, hey, I want to know, like, and also, okay, I can have a nested dictionary. What does it mean? Right? And also, I can use nested dictionary. Okay, look at here. Class. Okay, I have a dictionary class. And I know there are multiple students in the class, right? And I believe, I suppose, okay, every student has a unique name. What I can do, right, Adam? And every student also have a unique profile. You know, okay. I mean, the profile can contain lots of things, right? This time I just put the score, like math. Okay, what I do, I create one item inside my dictionary. Okay, the key is Alan. The value is what? The value is not a simple its type. It is another dictionary. Okay, and inside the dictionary, I have a pair of what? Course and school. Math, theory, P. Okay, so now what? Within one class, I could have 20, 30 students, right? Okay, so if I have a dictionary like this, then if I ask you, hey, tell me who, right, or not who, right? What is the score Jack get, right, for his ELA? What I do? Look at here. First, okay, let me use a different class, you know, fix one, okay? Using different variable, okay? Don't using reserved, because as you can see, it has different color, right? It means it's reserved keyword, okay? Okay, I have this name as my dictionary variable. Look at this, how I'm using it, one by one. First, I take a look at this part. Class 612, Jake. What does it mean? What will be returned? Aston. What will be returned for class 612, Jake? Aston?
Maybe 95.
No, I'm asking you this. Okay. I only return Jake.
Oh, then 98, 95, and 85.
Okay. Here, look at here. If I only set a check, whatever the value for the key check gonna be returned, the value of the dictionary. So you're gonna return the dictionary. Okay. If I run this, do you see? It's a dictionary, right? And if I said, hey, I want to know what is the ELA score of check, so I'm using that. So I run this, it's gonna return 95. You see, that's called a nested dictionary. It's very useful because most of the use cases in our life, it's needed the structure like this. Okay? So now we understand this. Do we have any question for this? Right? If I know what's the ELA for Alan, I just need to change the key of this to Alan. Right? Okay, I probably think you guys have to rejoin the meeting, okay? So it will be end quickly. Okay? So check if the key existing. That's the same thing. If the model existing in dictionary, if yes, print out. Dictionary length, dictionary, adding items, right? Adding items is simple. You're using the key. If the key is not existing, you can just add it into the dictionary. But, right, if it changes, right, if here, if this key you try to change is already existing, it will basically change the existing value of the key. So the year gonna become red. Okay? Year gonna become red. Okay? If you want to add a new key, you just add a different key. Okay? Remove item. You can use in pop. Okay, pop the key, right? Or you can pop item. Okay? But again, we said it's not ordered. So it's gonna random it, right? Instead, a random item will be removed instead. You can delete. Delete will be more straightforward. You can delete a specific item because you're giving the key. I want the model. The model gonna be removed. You only have the brand here left. Delete item can also delete dictionary completely. Okay, I can delete the dictionary completely. Clear all the key, but I still keep the empty dictionary. Copy the dictionary. You can use dictionary to copy. Create dictionary, another dictionary. Okay, next dictionary. Okay, this is what I'm talking about. Okay, here. My family. Children 1. Name, year. Children 2. Name, year. So, let me ask you. Aston. How many key existing for my family? Aston?
Excuse me, can you say that again?
My question is, how many key existing for my family?
I think there's 6.
How many?
I think there's yeah.
How many? What are the key for my family?
8 maybe?
8? Okay, look at here. Key in my family. Okay? Print key.
Oh, so about it. Ah.
How many key existing for my family? 3. Okay? Don't confused by those nested dictionary because name, year, right? They are in the nested dictionary as a value for the children 1. You get my point? So if I delete them, right, they are just value. You can actually see there's only 3 key for my family. 21, 22, 23, right? Then let me ask you, Nathan.
Yes.
Nathan?
Yeah.
Okay, I print out my family children too. What will we print out?
Tobias 2007.
It can print out the entire dictionary value of
No,
children
it will
too.
say name equals Tobias, year equals.
It's a dictionary, okay? Starting from curly brackets, year, name, value, okay? So it's basically tell you, hey, to look at the colon, right? There's a key, there's the value. Whatever the value after the colon, it will print out, right? It can be a simple type. It can be any different complexity type. Here is a complexity type, it's dictionary, right? Dictionary is another dictionary. So here, I know the value of a children 2 key is another dictionary, so I can still using the square brackets, right, to get the name, right? It's gonna print out what? Tobias. Are you guys getting that? Any question?
Yes.
No.
No? Okay, very good. Okay. So in this case, if you can see here, it's basically they define the 3 dictionary variable firstly, and then right assign the 3 dictionary variable right inside a new bigger dictionary, right? They're gonna appear as a value, right? But the result can be the same as doing like that, right? The difference is you have to create a variable firstly and a unit variable, okay? This is the dictionary construct. Okay, so that's it. The main point for the dictionary you have to understand is the key value pair. Okay, so it's really different from the list, the tuple, right? Because the list is, you know what? List can be also contain complex type of the value, right? And it cannot just be right integers or strings. Okay, so as I said right here, if I have a query list, okay, 1 can be an integer, can be a string, can be a boolean, right? What else? Can be a float, or can be another list, can be another cube, right? Can be another what? Set, even can be another what? Dictionary. Okay, dictionary, right? If I said list, okay, length list -1. Oh, I don't do that. It's very stupid. I do not that way. I get the last item of the list, which is what? Which is dictionary. Then I know it's dictionary. I can using key to get the value for the specific key. Right? If I run that, you notice this. What I do, I get the last item from the list. I get the value for the key name. I print out, drop print out element. Okay? So important for a dictionary. Remember, dictionary curly bracket, okay, has a key value. it can have multiple key value here. Okay, separate by comma. Okay, don't be confused by those nested or simple complex type. You have to look at here. First, indentation, right? Indentation. Children 1, children 2, children 3. I know, oh, for my family, these are the 3 key. Then look at the value after the colon, which is another dictionary. Okay, so we know the value for this key is another dictionary. Then I can using the first key, right, to get the value for the, whatever the given key, right? Key value. Okay, so you can using the key value to change the existing dictionary, overwrite, delete, or add a new one. And dictionary is very useful, okay, because it can help you to quickly find out the value based on the key. That's the reason why we said, hey, this is not ordered, because we don't say math gonna come in first or ERA gonna come in second. Right? There's no order, but they are indexed, which means I can given a name, it will return the value of the name I can give a mass, it will return the value of the mass directly. So that's called index. And of course, it's changeable because you can change or add or delete any item, right, in the dictionary. Okay, so that is all about this class. Do we have any question? I know maybe a little bit
That
challenging
is,
for you to understand dictionary. Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead, Nathan.
it's kind of confusing.
It's kind of confused, then I suggest you to go through the dictionary by yourself. Okay? These pages have all try it yourself. Try it yourself to really understand how you are using dictionary. Okay? How you are using dictionary. Okay, I think that's it. And yeah, just pay attention to the new assignments, okay? I definitely can give you practice, right? But if you still have no idea, right, read it by yourself and test it by yourself, okay? If any questions, just let me know. Thank you so much, then. Have a good night.
Thank you.
Okay. Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.